In our role within sustainability, we've just established basically our charter for the future with our 2015 metrics. And so we're really trying to broaden our horizon around sustainability and looking at taking our historical approach, which has really been about environment and operations, and broadening that to include much more of a social responsibility role. And so we've set some pretty aspirational metrics for the next 5 years and are working to establish a series of baseline programs in those areas, as well as areas that we feel we can really take a leadership position in those, and charting new areas for Kimberly-Clark to really drive change.
The big initiatives we have in sustainability is in working with the solar offloading technology. We apply to buildings and building systems to reduce surface temperatures up to 35 degrees. Therefore, we can reduce radiated heat, reduce the energy costs of cooling buildings or facilities, and it's an innovative, novel, new technology that we're really excited to be working with, and we feel that that's in some way a partial solution for our clients that will really add some value and reduce business risk over the long run by reducing their operating costs.
Sustainability is a lot of things at FedEx. Of course, we have all the operational things that we do with hybrid trucks and solar hubs and things of that nature. In terms of my role, I've got something that I'm really excited about. It's called EnviroRenew. I'm in the disaster relief space at FedEx and the philanthropic things that we do. So I work with Salvation Army, Red Cross, major disaster relief partners around the world in bringing aid where it's needed, when it's needed. But with EnviroRenew, it's a special program with the Salvation Army where we're looking at how to go into a community like, say, the 9th Ward after Katrina and actually rebuild better. Oftentimes after a big disaster, companies will go in, volunteers will go in, and they'll rebuild, but they just, if anything, they might put up what was there before, hopefully, but they don't really think about doing things better. So this new program called EnviroRenew with Salvation Army actually goes into communities and builds back better. So they're sustainable homes, they're energy efficient, the price of the utilities is lower, so it makes it more affordable. It's just a terrific program, and I'm really looking forward to working with Salvation Army through the years in developing this program.
And it's Smarter Buildings gets to the heart of sustainability, energy usage. You know, buildings consume easily 40% of our energy and projected to be the biggest user of energy on the planet by the year 2025. I care a lot about sustainability. It's a passion of mine. It's doing something to reduce the carbon footprint of the planet, helping businesses to do that in a way that makes economic sense, while we really help to lead transformation within the industry. I think that's what this conference is all about, so I'm delighted to be here. I loved the first session that I had the privilege of being part of, and great conversation to this end.
So sustainability to Huawei, it means touching the triple bottom line, or covering the triple bottom line. So we try to address in our solutions basically how our solution will sustain businesses from a financial standpoint, so how you have a sustainable growth, and also how that will lower the impact in the environment.
And TXU has long been a friend of sustainability. I guess one of my favorite programs that we have in sustainability is literally around the green space around our building. We partnered with EDF, part of their Climate Corps organization, and they sent Trish Kinlaw to our organization to help us find out what we can do inside of our organization, in our building, on our campus, to become, green and to save actually some money. And so it was very interesting. Obviously, lighting and air conditioning and things came straight out. But some of my favorite things are the things you wouldn't have thought about. For instance, we could save over $100,000 just by removing the small refrigerators full of free Cokes and sodas and waters around the building. $100,000 a year. And so our goal was not to get employee morale messed up or anything. So we started to reduce some of that. But along those tracks, multifunction devices instead of printers and things like that, we saved considerable amount of money across our campus in all kinds of different ways by partnering with EDF. It was a great project.
And the reason that sustainability is so important on the community level is because the people that the Salvation Army serves are often the first people to be affected by a major event, whether it's a housing crisis, a disaster, or other even economic events. And sustainability is important because by lifting up the community and making it a sustainable economic community, then those who normally would be in need are able to maintain their own utility bills, their own food needs, and whatnot. And when we've seen depressed communities, of course, it increases those who are in need. And as it increases those in need, you have less people to work on the recovery of the community as a whole.
The reason we're here today in Las Vegas at the Mandalay Bay Resort is that this facility is an example of how companies are trying to reinvent themselves. You wouldn't believe that in downtown Las Vegas, the symbol for excess, that a company would sit there trying to figure out ways to conserve energy, recycle water, and figure out different ways to reduce costs. But that's exactly what MGM International is doing with this property. And also with the city center complex, which is the only LEED Gold certified complex in Vegas. If it can happen here in Vegas, you can be pretty much guaranteed it's happening everywhere else.